Welcome to Wisdom of the Bible channel. Today we're diving into a topic that often goes unnoticed but is incredibly intriguing. The Bible clearly mentions the ethnicities that emerged from Noah and his 3 sons right after the flood. But what about the ethnicities that existed before that? What about the civilizations that lived before the Great Flood, the so-called antediluvian ethnicities? After all, how many ethnicities existed in that ancient time, and could some of them have simply vanished from our world today? What were the civilizations that belonged to the Adamite world, the initial world created in the days of Adam? Could it be that some races or ethnicities that existed before the flood are no longer with us? And even more intriguing, could these ethnicities hold secrets that are not commonly revealed? In today's video, we're going to explore this mystery in detail. I will explain how many of the most important and dominant ethnicities existed in the world before Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So, if you're eager to discover more about this fascinating subject, go ahead and leave a like, comment below what you think of this theory, and share the video so more people can uncover these secrets. With that said, let's dive into today's video, the secrets of the 4 races before the flood, what you were never told. In the book of Genesis, chapters 4 and 5, the Bible presents something fascinating, the existence of 2 main lineages that descend from Adam. The first is the lineage of Cain, Adam and Eve's firstborn. Cain was responsible for founding a people that carried his name, thus forming the first Adamite lineage. The second lineage comes from Seth, Adam and Eve's 3rd son, who was born to replace Abel after his tragic death. Hence, the lineage of Seth is known as the Sethite lineage, named after its patriarch. A common question that arises when discussing these 2 lineages is about the ethnic diversity that would have emerged from Adam. After all, if Adam was created from the earth, we can imagine that his appearance reflected that earthly origin. Eve, in turn, might have had a similar appearance, with both possibly sharing a mixed skin tone. This idea raises an interesting point. If Adam and Eve had a mixed appearance, their descendants would naturally present a variety of physical characteristics. Their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren over the generations could have been born with different ethnic appearances. Some could have had darker skin, others lighter, some with features resembling indigenous or Semitic peoples. In this way, the ethnicities we know today may have developed from this genetic diversity already present in the earliest human lineages. This leads us to consider that the idea of different ethnicities didn't emerge from future divisions, but was there from the very beginning of humanity. Now, I'll talk about the 4 main races or ethnic groups that dominated during the time of Adam, from his era up to that of Enoch or Lamech, Noah's father. These pre-flood ethnicities, or those that existed before the deluge, were known by the following names: Proto or Pre-Semitic, Proto or Pre-Hamitic, and Proto or Pre-Japhethic. These terms come from the biblical references we have for describing the peoples that existed before the lineages of Noah. These names are derived from the descendants of Noah's sons, and because these races existed before them, we use the prefix proto or pre to indicate that they are earlier or initial. It's interesting to note that there is a debate, and something curious I'd like to share. There's a possibility that other ethnicities existed before the flood. Some ancient texts, like the Book of Enoch, suggest that celestial beings interacted with humans, which may have resulted in giants and other hybrid groups. These events could have contributed to the emergence of different human lineages, coexisting alongside the descendants of Adam and his children. Thus, the world before the flood was a complex mixture of cultures, ethnicities, and civilizations whose stories were erased by the waters. Only Noah and his family survived to restart humanity. However, this idea is controversial and not the focus of this video. Today, we'll only talk about the ethnicities that we can identify in the current world through Noah's descendants. We'll explore the ancient proto- or pre-flood ethnicities. Even so, feel free to comment below what you think about this. Could there have been other ethnicities that disappeared and no longer exist today, dating back to the time of Adam and Eve? The first ethnicity or race before the flood is the pre-Semitic group. As the name suggests, it was the predecessor of the Semitic ethnicity we know today, existing before Noah and his son Shem. If Shem gave rise to the Semitic peoples, it's likely that their ancestors, prior to Noah, already had a similar appearance and physical characteristics. As we all know, The original appearance of the Semites, which can be observed among Arabs, Mizrahi Jews, Syrians, and Iraqis, is generally characterized by a yellowish or beige skin tone, light but easily tanned by the sun. They tend to have elongated faces, often with hooked or arched noses, and their hair is usually wavy and dark. Their eyes are commonly brown. As for height, they typically range between 5 feet 7 inches and 5 feet 9 inches. The pre-Semitic ethnicity, in turn, shared similar physical characteristics and was present in both the lineage of Seth and that of Cain. In other words, people with this phenotype or physical type were common in both lineages. The second ethnic group present in the time before the flood was undoubtedly the pre-Hermitic or pre-Hermitic race. This ethnicity was found in both the lineage of Seth and that of Cain. As we know, the Hermitic or pre-Hermitic lineage consisted of dark-skinned people, that is, individuals with darker skin tones. The pre-Hermitic phenotype was characterized by black skin, a nose with negroid features, generally curly hair, and light or dark brown eyes. The height of these people tended to be taller than that of the Semites, generally ranging from 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 11 inches, with variations in height sometimes reaching from 6 feet 3 inches to as tall as 6 feet 6 inches. Very likely there was also a diversity of skin tones, from dark brown to black and lighter brown, something frequently seen among African peoples. Upon closer observation, we can see certain variations in coloration among different African groups, ranging from black to dark brown and lighter brown. The third race or ethnicity that existed before the flood was called the pre-Japhetic, and it was divided into two groups, the Japhethites or pre-Japhethites and the pre-Togamahites. The Japhethite group generally had very light skin, with hair ranging from blonde to red and even dark brown. Their eyes were often blue or green. On the other hand, there were Japhethites with Togamahite features, that is, with more Asian characteristics, such as almond-shaped eyes and other traits. The average height of these people was around 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 11 inches, although other height variations could be found in ancient times. Now let's talk about the fourth ethnicity or race, which was the most predominant among all the descendants of Adam. This ethnicity is, in fact, the very ethnic origin of Adam and Eve. It is important to highlight that this ethnic group was made up of mixed people, that is, individuals of mixed heritage. Just as the first humans were the result of a mixture of different traits, the plurality we see today is a reflection of that initial diversity. The predominant ethnicity in the pre-flood period was, therefore, this combination of traits. Within this group, we could find people with an impressive variety of physical characteristics, green eyes, skin tones ranging from the lightest to the darkest, as well as different hair textures. There were those with curly hair, others with wavy hair that did not fit into the categories of straight or curly. Facial diversity was also notable, with noses ranging from hooked to negroid. Furthermore, even among those with light skin, some had extremely curly hair, further revealing the rich genetic tapestry of these early humans. In summary, the predominant ethnicity of Adam and Eve was made up of mixed individuals who represented the originality of humanity and the diversity of creation. This shows us that, from the beginning, the blending of characteristics was fundamental to forming who we are today. It's worth remembering that a mixed couple can have various ethnicities in their ancestry. In ancestry tests, it's common for people to show 10 to 11 different ethnicities in their DNA. Generally, a mixed individual has between 3 to 7 ethnicities in their genetic makeup. This means that, when forming a family, a mixed couple has the potential to have children with varied characteristics. Let's use an example to illustrate. Suppose a mixed couple has 7 children. Each of these children will inherit a unique combination of traits from their parents, possibly exhibiting specific characteristics from both the father and the mother. Thus, one child may have an Asian appearance, while another may resemble someone of African origin. Yet a third could have European traits, typical of someone of white ethnicity, while another might display Semitic characteristics, appearing Arab or Jewish. These differences become evident right after the child is born, showcasing the rich genetic diversity that a mixed couple can produce. I hope everyone enjoyed the video in which I discussed the 4 most predominant ethnic groups in antiquity, especially the 4th, which was the most common and visible. May God bless you all, and I'll see you soon.
Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for watching our channel, Wisdom of the Bible. I personally invite you to subscribe to our channel. It supports us and helps us create more videos. Thank you, and God bless you.